What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Look, I want to give y'all some good sound advice. Sometimes close friends, family, they be going through things, and usually the case is somebody's going through something. They might want to talk about it. They might reach out to you to talk about it. You might detect something is wrong, and you may try to open them up to get them to talk. And usually they do, but there's those few occasions where the person just doesn't feel like discussing it. And it doesn't really have anything to do with them shutting you out, or it's just sometimes we have to process and go through things on our own and figure things out on our own, and also work our way up to a point depending on what's going on to where we'll be ready to talk about it. And we got to understand and make sure that when you recognize that in a person, that you don't make the mistake of trying to force them to talk about something, you know. And because we'll make that mistake all the time. We'll say, man, look, man, come on, man, I'm your boy, man. You can tell me anything, man. You ain't got, or you can say, hey, I'm your dad's son, or I'm your mother, daughter. You could talk to me about anything, just tell me. And the person understands that. But this particular case, they just don't feel like going into it. And we'll even go so far as to make the mistake of getting mad or upset because the person doesn't want to share or open up. Well, see, I'm trying to help you, and you shutting down, you're not talking, and now you're holding all this in, it ain't good for you, and you just start going off on the person. How is that going to make whatever it is they're going through better? Now, we know that there are different levels to problems. So you may be concerned, and you may feel like you don't know if this person is suicidal. You don't know if it's something that's so deep that you should know about it. Those are fine lines that we got to try to properly walk, because there are situations where it's like it's best that you know that, because it could get worse later. But in general, if it's just a situation, somebody's going through something and they don't want to talk about it, let them have that. Let them have that. Let them have that. And if you are the person who's going through something, if you're not going to talk about it, at least just give the honest assurity to the person that's concerned about you to say, look, I'm good, or I'm going to be good. I just got to work this out on my own. Or when I get ready to talk about it, then I will. And people will say that sometimes. Sometimes people will just be straight up and say, look, I'm not ready to even go into that right now. But when I am, you'll be the first person I contact. Respect those boundaries from people, because you can lose people when you get too over the top with them, because we're concerned, but you feel like you know a person. One thing that we can never make the mistake of is thinking that we know a person better than they know themselves. You can't go into the internal depths of a person better than they can do on their own. So they understand why they're not talking. They understand what they're going through. They have a grasp of the range of emotions and the fears or whatever it is they might be apprehensive about going into it about. You don't know that stuff. You just trying to take it on just a basic level to say, well, you should talk about it. It ain't good to hold that in, and that's true to the extent, to an extent. There's levels to it. There's levels to it. But you can lose a friend, you can lose a child, you can lose a significant other, you can lose a family member trying to force them to talk. You know, and sometimes, sometimes it's not nothing even wrong. You know, people are very internalized at times, and they're very private and introspective, and people like that, they can click into that mode at any moment. And you could be riding down the street with somebody and they're not saying nothing, and then you got people that will go, what's wrong with you? It's like, nothing wrong with me. Well, he ain't saying nothing, this must be something. No, I'm just I'm just reflecting. I'm just looking out the window while we ride. I'm good. That's totally not. Well, there got to be something wrong with you because you ain't. I mean, people that do that, people that do that all the time, and not just respecting a person's right to steal away, and dip off to themselves. And people will hunt you down. They'll follow you in the room. Where you going? What's wrong? Ain't nothing wrong. I'm just dipping away. I'm just need some me time. So I always respect if a person doesn't want to open up in a moment, and don't try to pressure them or make them feel less because they may not want to talk. And sometimes you might be the reason why they don't want to open up. That's one thing you got to consider too. Sometimes people will open up to a person, and then the person's response makes them go, "Oh well, I'll never tell them nothing again," because you may flip out on a person when they tell you something. You may judge them when they tell you something and try to look down on them or scold them based on what it is they told you, make them feel less or less intelligent, and you thinking that you know, telling them right. See, but a lot of times it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. So consider all the factors. Consider all the factors. Nothing wrong with asking a person, hey, you all right? Hey, man, you want to talk about it, whatever, whatever. But respect their right to not if they choose to. All right, man, it's your big brother K-Rino. I'll hit y'all with another one later on tonight. Peace.